Good morning, folks. Good morning. How are you today? We're finally getting back on the road after this little hiatus due to the COVID-19. Just finally got bright enough that I can start shooting this morning. And guess what, folks? We now have a clean truck. Just leaving the truck wash, and we are on our way down to get our first load in probably about a month and a half. So we're gonna try to see if we can figure out how to do this again, and we're heading out to Oklahoma. So guys, stick with me. I will see you in a little bit here. Let's get some miles under our belt, let the sun come up a little bit so you guys don't have to see that red blinking light here. Guys, please, before we get started, like and subscribe to the channel, and I will see you guys in a couple hours. Let's get down to Georgia. See ya. Alright, folks, so as you see, we're loaded up here. We are on our way out to Oklahoma. I'll get some video of this load coming off and show you how I loaded it. I got, what do I have? 6 Sorrentos and 3 fully loaded Tellurides. So we're a little on the heavier side, but we still got about 1,500 pounds to play with, so we'll be safe all the way out there. But guys, today I just want to talk to you a little bit about this idea that's being floated around of more or less giving every person in America a check for $2,000 a month, and what that would actually do, one, to the economy, and two, the thought process of lifting people out of poverty. So let's just start with the simple definitions here. What is poverty in the United States? That is, the poverty threshold is the number that someone needs to make in order to what they call making bread, meaning making enough money that you can survive a year. So the minimum amount needed in order to provide a livelihood for you. And right now in 2017, The Hill reported that the poverty threshold for a single person is $11,770. So that roughly equates to about 800 and change per month needed for a single person to survive the year. Now, that's not living or thriving. That's not having a life or thriving throughout the year. That is just the bare bones minimum of what it would cost someone in America to survive. For a family of 4, that is $24,250. So the thought process is, if we were to give every person in America $2,000 a month for 6 months, that would literally that would make it so America has zero poverty. And we'll get into the pros and cons of this here in a minute. But I mean, we are the richest country in the world. So yeah, the pros to it would be, look, there wouldn't be a single person in this country living below the poverty threshold, which I guess you could say the liberal side of me says that's actually a good thing. I don't want to see people suffering. The conservative side of me, I got some issues with doing that, and we'll get into that in a second. But if you the big issue you have is, there's a economics professor, Brian Chaplin, comes out and talks about, if we were to just give everybody money, the problem, the reason, well, not even the reason, part of the reason people are poor is because of poor choices. But in my opinion, that can be curbed. Not for everybody, because not everybody's going to listen. But if we were to give everybody $2,000 a month and get everybody out of poverty, I think there should be some caveats to that. One of the caveats would be, look, I think in order for people to get these checks to start off with, there needs to be some economics training. Whether it's on a computer, via the internet, and a test that you have to take at the end of every lesson. But there should be, in order for you to earn this money, there should be a bit of an economics course. Teach people that don't have an idea about economics how to save and how to live on a budget. And the reason I say it like that is, look, there's a lot of great trucking out there, just in this trucking industry alone. But how many of us would love to do something different in trucking, but we don't know how to get into it? Now, we know a lot about trucking. It doesn't matter which sector you're in. If you're a tanker yanker, or if you haul dry van, you haul car carrier, or you're you haul flatbed or drop decks. We all of us know a lot about the trucking industry, and we know where you can make better money in it. The issue thrives in the aspect of a lot of us don't know how to get into these other industries. So therefore, look, a lot of these people that are poor, I'm sure they don't want to be poor. There are some that, look, doesn't matter the training you're going to give them, they're going to live the same life that they're in right now. Whether you give them $2,000, $5,000, $10,000 a month, it doesn't matter. They will be in the same boat. But I think even if you could turn 25 to 30% of the people around to where, look, a little bit of economics training in the beginning to teach them how to use that money appropriately to help them move ahead in the world, I think you're going to get a lot of people to do it. It'd be no different than if there was all of a sudden this course that every one of us truckers could take to get into any field of trucking we wanted to be in. I guarantee you there's going to be a lot of truckers that would jump ship from one form of trucking to another, whether it's better money or just they want to try something new. So therefore, there would be, in my opinion, and again, this is all opinions. We all know everybody's got an opinion. But in my opinion, you're going to turn around and you're going to change 25% of the people affected's life. And look, if there's, I don't know the exact number, but let's say there's 100 million people in America that live around the poverty threshold. That's still 25 million people that you just brought up out of that poverty threshold, and they're making better decisions. Now, you can't turn around for 6 months, make everybody take a 45-minute course per day for 6 months long just on economics. And I don't think that should be the only course. But I think there should be, if we were to do this, if this were to ever get voted in, I'm not a believer of just handing out money to people just to hand it out. I think there needs to be some effort put in on top of that. And one of the things is, look, let's set up some sort of website where these people can turn around, go in, answer a bunch of questions, and I guess you'll have a website that'll give recommendations based on the answers to your questions of what kind of fields that they should be looking in. You can plug in your address so it can tell you locally what you have, and based on that, you never know. Some of these people might get interested in some certain things. And then they can click on that and take, I would say, the basic training to what they would need in order to start that sort of profession. And then turn around and take those scores that these people are getting and send them, have the people have the ability, I guess, to forward on their scores to potential job applicants or potential employers is what I meant to say. So where the employers can look at it and say, look, this person looks like they really put forth a lot of effort, and they might be a good employee, and you never know. You might find someone that right now is just struggling to keep their car running, keep gas in their car, and keep groceries in the fridge, and all of a sudden this program starts 6 months down the road. They're getting a little bit of money to keep their life going, but now they also they have the training to where they might be getting into a $35,000, $45,000, $55,000 a year job and really start to excel and make something better of themselves. So I'm not completely for, like I said, I've never been a fan of just giving out money to people. I'm a believer, and I forget which economist talked about it before, but the fact that, look, the rich will always be rich, the poor will always be poor, and a lot of that is based on choices. So therefore, I think if you can make it so where people will be eligible for this money based on taking these tests and simple, quick courses every day to where that they can start to excel their lives, then yeah, I'm for trying to help people and try to lift them out of that area. And on that same note, I don't think we should all be given $2,000 a month. I think there should be a limit to who can actually get it, and that limit would absolutely limit me out of it, and I have no problem with that. Yeah, I'd love an extra $2,000 a month. That would really change things in my life. One of the things that would happen is me and my wife have found 30 acres that we really want to buy, and if I got $2,000 a month, I'd turn around and go buy it tomorrow morning. But right now we're saving. But yeah, there should be a limit, and you could say $100,000, but I don't completely agree with that, because just at the $100,000 limit, that is putting a cap on it, stating that everybody in America can live under the same umbrella. And they can't, because look, $100,000 where I live in Tennessee, that goes a very, very long way. That is a ton of money where I live in Tennessee. Now take that money and go into New York City or Los Angeles or Miami. $100,000 isn't going to get you much. So yes, I think the limits should be based on zip codes, and I guess what you would consider per zip code the wealthy class. So yeah, if like my area, $100,000 is a ton of money and can get you a lot. Yeah, $100,000 should be the limit. Now New York City, I don't know for certain, but let's say that area where you're getting out of the low-income neighborhoods and into I would say the higher middle-class neighborhoods, if that's $300,000, then that should be the limit there to that extra $2,000 a month. It should be based on where you live. So therefore, yeah, because I mean, if you're in New York City and $100,000, you're struggling, but all of a sudden you're not getting this $2,000. Look, you're going to stay in New York City's poverty threshold, whereas elsewhere you would be eligible for that money, and that would get you out of that poverty threshold. So that's kind of my opinion. Please comment below on what you think. Like what can we actually do to better the country in the state that we're in? Because right now the theory is it's always been violence leads to poverty, but there's been a lot of studies that say poverty leads to violence. So look, we have a lot of stuff going on right now, and I'm not saying it is 100% down to the poverty line or because of poverty, but if we can, as a country, help to try to lift everybody out of the poverty threshold together as a country and make them put forth an effort, and that I'm for that. I'm for trying to give people a better life. So yeah, just my opinion. If we're gonna get that $2,000 a month, I would like to see some caveats on it, and make it to where people do have to put forth some effort. So that way you're not just literally increasing welfare and allowing people to just continue to live off the state and put forth or government and put forth no effort on their end to make their lives any better. Again, that's just my opinion. Please give your opinions in the comments below. Guys, I love you. God bless you. I'm glad to be finally back on the road. If you've made it this far, please give this a big thumbs up. And if you're not subscribed, subscribe to the channel. Again, guys, love you. I'll see you on the next one.